I thought I'd make a video for a change, just in normal speed, just so relax and spend some time listening to jazz right now. I would include it, but because of copyright, obviously you cannot. So by all means, put some music on and hopefully maybe you'll find this relaxing. I don't know. I do. I've been painting since I was 14 years old, I suppose. Abstract. The only problem when I was at school was that there was no curriculum for painting abstract art. It was always, the structure of art, obviously, painting a teapot and a cup and saucer or a bowl of fruit. But unfortunately, I don't think the teachers really got across the importance of that and why. And at least if they did, maybe a lot of us didn't understand. But when we got free time, all I wanted to do was to doodle, and that's what we used to call it. I'd doodle on my exercise books, I'd doodle on the pages, I'd doodle on the covers, and then when I did art class, and I was lucky my form room was the art room, I just wanted to carry on doing, abstract art. But unfortunately, there was considered to be no place for it. And when you think how long it's been around, that just seems ludicrous, really. Gonna have to stand up for a second. Let's have a look at what I'm doing. people ask me how long it takes me to finish paintings. It depends hugely, really. Um, some don't take very long. Um, some of my work's taken up to sort of 50 hours or more. I must stop saying I did it again. I've done paintings that have just taken a few hours, but they I don't know. It's difficult. It's God, I'm really noticing that now. How many times I've just said I I just know it's finished when it's finished. It's very strange. Some paintings fight me. I've had a few of my paintings that I now love, or I loved until they were sold, and fought me every inch of the way. And it's hard to explain when you say to someone, "Oh, the painting, fought me," and it's kind of really just you struggle with it, and you're just not happy what you've done. It's very difficult to explain. You just think, I've had paintings that I've been halfway through them or nearly almost finished, and I've thought, I hate this. I can't stand it. It's awful. And when that happens, I just leave it. I just put it to one side and I leave it. I left a painting for 3 months. Just couldn't look at it. And then I just came back to it with sort of a fresh pair of eyes, fresh thoughts. Changed one thing. Within a couple of days, it was finished. Probably another 3 hours work on it. And now I'm really happy with it and with what I did. So anyway, it's quite nice listening to jazz when I paint. Normally, anyone that knows me knows that I listen to a lot of Jeff Beck, a lot of guitar, bass rock, blues rock. But right now I'm listening to a jazz instrumental music called Winter Jazz. On one of their YouTube channels. It's very relaxing. Yeah, this is jazz piano that I'm listening to right now. I've had a change of pace. I'm now listening to Candy Dolfer, who's, if you don't know her, she's a very good saxophonist. So we've gone from jazz to jazz funk. This track's called My Funk. It's good. Very good. Oh, I've moved on to soul now. I'm listening to Silk Sonic. Anyway, I was talking about how long it takes for me to finish a painting. And I still don't know how long this one will take. It's very hard. Hard to know, hard to figure out sometimes. Sometimes it just flies through, and other times it doesn't. And sometimes, it's hard to explain, really. I think I'm one of those artists, I need to kind of step back and look and take time to look at what I'm doing and think about it and come back to it. In different sessions, do more sessions on it, because I'd like to say what I'm doing like right now is random. And in a way, I suppose it looks random, but it just has to feel right. Sometimes I'll do something and I'm just like, what have I done? That looks awful. And I have to go over it. Thankfully, not too often. But, and sit down again. But, well, I'm back with the ums again. Yeah, I just kind of have to step back and look at it and just kind of take stock of what I'm doing, where I'm at. Am I happy with the way it looks? And unless I'm doing a commission, I'm painting for myself. I kind of paint the way I feel. It's very hard to explain. It's like poetry. You're painting feelings. You're not painting a dog or a cat or a tree or a seascape. You're painting with expression. You're painting based on how you feel. I'm quite a calm person most of the time, so I'm usually calm when I paint. And so it usually comes down to what am I listening to, not even what my mood is, because to be fair, if I'm not in a great mood, I don't paint. Sometimes I do. Because painting's cathartic. See, at this one now, I'm starting to get to the point where I think I need to come back. If you haven't heard this song that I'm listening to right now, check it out. I discovered this singer on TikTok when I had a TikTok account. She was a singing post girl. I can't remember her name, but she sings under the name of Zeppelin, spelled Zeplyn. And I think she's engaged to or married to someone to do with, who has something to do with the band Muse. I think her fiance is either something to do with them backstage or he's a member of the band. I'm not sure. But she's got a great voice, and this video that she did before, maybe it was before she met him, I don't know. It's called Bad Love, and there's a video of it on YouTube, and I saved it because I think it's a great song. You should check her out. But she sort of rose to fame on TikTok as a singing post girl, and I think she worked for the Royal Mail in England, and yeah, check her out. Interested to know what people think, if they're artists, if they paint, and what your process is. You know, what makes you want to paint. Are there times when you don't feel like painting? How do you get out of that? How do you kind of get yourself back into a place where you actually want to paint? I paint every day. It's time management, really, to be quite honest with you. It really is. But this is probably taking a bit longer because I'm filming it. So I'm self-conscious of what I'm doing. No, not so much, but I want to get this painting finished because I'm selling it at the Cornwall Open Studios in May, and I was talking to a friend of mine. He's the guy that does my sheer clay prints, and asked me, because I'll work on 2 or 3 paintings sort of concurrently, if that's the right word for it. And he's like, why do you work on more than one painting at a time? Why don't you just get one done? And I'm like, I can't. I actually can't do that. I need to, as I said, I need to step away. And when I step away from a painting, because it's doing my bulbing, or I just need to kind of step away to step back and look at it, you know, see whether I'm happy with what I'm doing or not. But I'm still in the mood to paint, so I'll step away from one painting and I'll carry on working on another. So I'm happy, I'm enjoying myself, I'm painting, you know, but it means I get a break from a painting. I've got a painting I haven't finished that I started about 3 years ago, and it's one of those that I think I hate it. I don't hate it. I just every time I look at it, I'm just like, I don't really know what to do with this one. Some people just go over them, you know. I don't want to go over it because I'm not unhappy with it. I just know it's not finished. don't know, if you paint, you know, I'd like to hear people's stories. You know, what do you just work on one painting at a time? Do you work on several? I know some artists line them up. That's when because they're commercially minded. You know, they're quite often there's an artist. Some artists, they paint on blocks, so they'll do like 1 foot square blocks. They'll do small paintings that are all very similar, and they'll line them up in a grid of maybe 9 of them, you know, or 16 of them, and they'll just paint, and they'll do something on all of them, and then they'll go back and they'll do the next part on all of them, and it's like a conveyor belt. And I can't do that. It's not something I want to do, really. And you know, if an artist is happy doing that, that's good for them. I still haven't decided if I'm going to add more colour to this. Last time I did that with a painting, I ended up changing one of the main colours of the whole thing. It took me another 10-15 hours to finish it. But when it was finished, I was absolutely thrilled with it. So it was meant to be. I discovered another singer recently. I'm trying to remember her name. I'm a big fan of Leanne La Havas. I saw Leanne La Havas at the Royal Albert Hall. And I'm actually doing a painting for her. But it's a gift. She knows about it. I need to get it done. I decided to do 3 and then let her pick which one she wants. Oh, what's the name of this? I discovered 2 singers lately, female singers. One called, I don't know if it's Naka or Maker. I think she's from Colombia or somewhere like that, or Brazil. And she's got an exquisite voice. Leanne La Havas has the most beautiful voice. But there's another singer similar. I think she's based in LA. I'm trying to remember her name. If I remember it, I will say. Right. I think it's almost time to leave this one and come back to it again. Maybe today.